Hey guys, welcome to Top Gear number 4, and I'm with Alex, STM Rock Wong, and I'm so excited for this. I want to hear his story. Alex has so many stories, and I'm just pumped. I'm just really pumped. Alex, how do you feel tonight?
I feel good. I've been waiting for this. Looking forward to it. Is it raining cats and dogs in Kuching? Just going crazy. Just raining all day. They're freaking out. Yeah.
No flooding yet, right? So hopefully.
Well, there was 10 days ago. There was. Yeah.
Oh man. But no, it's good to see you. It's been the last time I saw you was I think we were driving up to Penang, and then you sent me off with your beautiful California. Yeah, big butt. I love that car.
Yeah, I don't normally send people off, you know. I drove 50 kilometers to send you off.
Thank you. That was such a gift. It was my birthday, you know, and it was really nice. Thanks a lot, man. It's so good to see you after a long time. I think after you did the Trans-Borneo trip, you know. So such a trip.
Which took a long time.
Such a trip. Yeah. So hey guys, let us know where you're from. I can see you, Johan, Herman. We all can see your comments. By the way, we can see you, Dylan, Bobby Ang. Hey man. All right. Derek, Chris Wee. So let us know in the comments where you're from. Where you're tuning from. Are you from Kuching like Alex? Or are you tuning from Sabah? Or are you tuning from KL? Let us know where you're from, man. All right. So
hey,
Derek is asking, is this the expedition where Alex visit the Akrapovič Slovenia factory? Unfortunately, no. We're going to talk about a little bit more, something crazy about that. All right. And if you know somebody who wants to find out about this, please share this on your page as well. All right. Share it on the page. Tag somebody you think will be enjoyable. Grab a drink, grab some snacks. We're going to be in here for at least an hour and a half because there's so much stories from Alex STM Rock. And I'm going to start with introducing him. So first of all, Alex, thanks for being on my show because I think it's a story worth telling. You know, Alex is the guy that I think I'm so blessed to meet him because I wanted to buy a boxer spider. Okay, they only make 2,500 units in the whole world, the 981, right? And so it's rare, all right? Number one. Number two, there's none in Malaysia, right? So there's no Malaysians that have it. But then when Bobby texts me and said, "Hey, you're looking at this car? Why don't you talk to a guy who owns it?" And I'm like, "Who is he? Like from Britain and stuff?" No, he's Malaysian. And then Bobby hooked me up with Alex. Went for a drive. I was still driving my C43 then, and we just chat and I learned so much about the spider with him. And I said, "That's it. I have the confidence to buy the car right now." And that's how I got to know Alex. And great dude, a lot of stories. Yeah, that's why we have. That's how we became friends. Yeah, but Alex has a lot of hats. You know, he's an adventurer. He has all this. Alex, why don't you tell the audience a little bit more about what do you do, man? Because every time I talk to you, you're doing something new.
Well, yeah, I just came back from a Trans-Borneo tour, 3 months, and you know, like all of you, we were all stuck with COVID and all that. But at that time in Sarawak, we could move around. So I spent the first MCO in KL, and after that I flew back to Kuching, and I'm so used to moving around, you know, so I couldn't stand it. So I just jumped in my car one day and I do what I usually do on my bike, which is to cross Borneo from Kuching to Kota Kinabalu to Kudat. But this time I took my car. I took my old this is a car channel, right? So we'll talk about cars, yeah. So I took my 1995 993 911.
Yeah.
And I just drove straight across to Kota Kinabalu. And when I
planned nothing, just drove.
Yeah. When I posted on Facebook, of course, everyone went, "What is that? It's an old car. It's 26 years old. You're gonna break down, yada yada." But no, I never once broke down. I did 6,500 kilometers. Didn't break down.
And ladies and gentlemen, he won a lottery as well in that trip.
Obviously, it's very expensive to travel like that. But good hotels were cheaper during the COVID thing. So I stayed in good hotels. But so of course that's on my mind too. You know, I'm spending money staying in good hotels and all that. But on my last week, after 3 months, I drove up a hill with a friend, wanted to show me this place called Coco Hill. Yeah. And then a dog came up to me. So I wound down my screen. I love dogs. I went, hey, little puppy. And the dog jumped up and scratched the hell out of my door.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that.
I was upset because it was the dog. So, but then after that, I went to eat chicken rice. I took the scratches out by polishing. No problem.
Yeah.
I went to eat chicken rice, and when I came out, I saw a 4D shop. I don't buy 4D. It's not something that I do. It's not my habit. So I said, just go in and buy. I bought 25 tickets, 9930. And I don't even know how to check. So I just took a picture of my ticket and I posted it on Facebook. And I started getting phone calls. 2 days later, phone calls from friends, and you won 4D. I won 4,500 ringgit. So lucky dog. Yeah, lucky dog.
Yeah. Definitely lucky dog. I'm gonna quickly show you guys like his 993. Look at the beautiful 993, right? That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the one that you traveled with, isn't it?
It was taken at the tip of Borneo, which is the north of Borneo Island. Yeah. He
drove all the way there, and we all of us were following his trip, every picture he takes, and all of us were stuck at home, and he's sending all these beautiful pictures of Borneo. And we're like, Alex, we hate you, but we love you.
hey, you see that Land Rover Defender there?
Yeah.
That belongs to another guy from Kuching, and we would take turns with our cars to go and buy supplies because we stayed for a month at the tip of Borneo. You were
stuck there, weren't you?
Yeah, in a small dive resort called Tommy's Place. Beautiful place. It's called Tommy's Place. And it's right by the tip of Borneo. So we would jog every night and that kind of stuff. And that guy, Michael, sometimes we use his car, the Defender, sometimes we use mine. And after a while, we realized that my car was more comfortable through the bumps than the Defender is. 16-inch wheels, big profile tires. So,
man. Wow. When Bobby says, when I grow up, I want to be like Alex.
You got a long way to go to grow up to be like me. So.
See, Alex has so many trips, and I'm sure that he will be more than happy. I'm sure that there's so much more stories to hear from him. But today, we're going to talk about why we're here today. We're going to talk about his Pan-American trip, right? Simon, can you bring up the map? So when I heard about the Trans-Borneo trip, I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. But then when I heard about his Pan-American trip, this is the picture you drawn. I went to your Facebook and stole it. And I'm like, what is this guy thinking? He went all the way from the bottom to the top in the
end of the world, they call it. Yeah.
End of the world, right?
Yeah. I didn't do that like from Alaska to New York. I didn't do that bit there.
Oh, I didn't do that bit, right? But that was the plan. This was the plan, right? But guys, this is crazy. This is crazy. If you think this is crazy, just type on the chat. Let us know that you think it's crazy as well, okay?
It's basically 30,000 kilometers.
Yeah, and on the bike.
It doesn't sound so crazy if you just think about it. Like 30,000 kilometers, it was 65 days. When you put 65 days into it, it was crazy because my average per day is about 400 kilometers.
Whew. And you didn't just drive through, right? You stop, you do things, and then you get off and you drop.
Yeah, some days I did ride. If I feel tired or I love the place, like when I got to Lima, Peru, I loved it, so I stayed there 2 nights. And when I got to LA, I stayed in LA for 3 days. I took a break. So some days I just don't ride. But some days I did big miles, 1,250 kilometers, sorry.
Yeah.
So,
but it's a crazy trip, man. And when we were talking to Alex on WhatsApp, we were thinking like, how are we going to cover all of this? And we're like, we'll cover what we need to cover, right? And I'm excited to bring this talk to you. And by the way, someone said Alex looks like Alex Yong, right? And Bobby said Alex was the guy behind spotting Alex Yong into F1 and resulted in Malaysia deciding to build an F1 track, right? So you can say that. So Alex Wong, if Alex Wong weren't here, there's no Alex Yong and there's no F1 Sepang track we can enjoy in a way. So you got Alex to thank for.
Yeah, we've been supporting Alex Yong since he was doing Formula Asia.
Wow.
So, and a lot of people don't know, but we were before Petronas in F1. It's just that Petronas is such a big name. Everyone thinks that Petronas was first in F1 in for Malaysia, but it wasn't. It was us. So,
Wow. Guys, if you think that's awesome, come on, give us some likes and love on Facebook. Smash the like button first. Come on. I think that's freaking awesome because we have an amazing track, in Malaysia. And to have our national hero, behind story, right? We didn't know it's Petronas, but actually before that, there were so many. Wow. Okay. So we're gonna go for a quick break. After the break, we're gonna start talking about how and why, and talk about some of his craziest moments after the break. All right. So let's go for a quick break. And we're coming back. We're gonna talk about and start talking about this Pan American trip. Right. Let's do a quick break for a moment.
Maybe about 500 bucks. It save about 1,000 plus.
To work out cheaper for me.
3,000-4,000.
215, even more.
It's for 200 plus. 400 bucks of savings.
hey, Thomas.
Hey guys. All right, that's a shout out from our sponsors, Evo Club Insurance, and we're back. We're back. Yeah, and by the way, some of you may not know that and may want to visit this if you go to Kuching, because I want to go there. There's a restaurant, a cafe called Feast and Furious. You can see it on his shirt. It's Eric's Wong's cafe as well. I remember passing by it in Kuching the first time I went there, but I'm definitely going to dine in there when I'm going to Kuching after this whole MCO crazy thing is over. It's over.
Yeah. The first video I ever saw of Bobby's was the one that he did when he came to Kuching and he walked into my cafe and filmed my cafe. So that was the only episode, the first episode I've seen of Bobby, because before that I didn't know Bobby. But someone sent me a link. Look, I think someone did a video about your cafe. So I saw that. I'm okay. Then one day we met in KL. Yeah. So. But hey, Tan Hao Jen, you're from Brunei, yeah? I was born in
a friend from Brunei. Wow.
Yeah, I was born in so
nice.
Okay,
let's get on with the show.
Yeah.
So what made you think to do it? Because as I wouldn't do it. If I do it, maybe it's half the trip, and maybe in a car, maybe in a Hilux or something like that. I wouldn't think of doing it on a bike. But like, how did you come into the idea of I want to do this trip?
No, the first big motorcycle trip I did was on a scooter. I remember it clearly. 2008, I was supposed to go to Burma. They had the monsoon and a lot of people died in Burma. So I was supposed to go in Malaysia to start shooting with my camera. I'm a photographer. So start shooting the work that Mercy Malaysia was doing. But the Burmese immigration wouldn't give me a permit because I wrote their photographer. So they didn't want anyone to record all the deaths or whatever it was from the monsoon, the big monsoon that time. So there I was, all packed with all my gear and nowhere to go. So I jumped on my scooter, and then that was my first time. I rode on my scooter from Kuching to Tawau in Sabah, and it took me 13 days.
Wow!
And that I went, wow! Traveling by bike is really amazing.
But what is it about bike traveling is amazing? I mean, I could imagine it's not as comfortable as a car because the damping and stuff won't be as great. But what about it? What's the appeal of it? Because I've never done it, right?
Well, in a car you see a country, okay? You see it through glass, through whatever, and you have air conditioned and all that. But on a bike, you see the country, you feel the country, because whatever temperature, whatever wind, you feel it and you smell it. You smell the country. When you're driving past the abattoir, you're driving past a sewage system or whatever it is. And
or rubber factory and stuff like that.
On the bike, people talk to you. When you stop, you're very approachable. And people come up to you, hey, where are you from? Especially when they see the flags, the sticker flags that you have on your box. They always go, where are you from? And people always invite me to stay with them. They always go, even if they can't speak English, like in Kazakhstan, when I'm riding along, I just can't ride in peace. Though some people horn me in the city, but Mister, stop. And I go, oh God. So sometimes I stop and then they'll go, the ladies will try to open my bag because they want to give me bread, they want to give me cookies, they want to give me drinks. And after that selfie, and then after that, they'll do this. They go, Mister, tonight, my house.
Wait, you're saying ladies are doing this to you?
Ladies and guys, and
okay, ladies and guys.
No, they didn't have any other motive apart from wanting a.
okay. Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, bike travel is really good. I've done it with cars too, just not as approachable with cars, especially if you're in a car convoy.
That's true. That's true.
Know that. I mean, even driving up to Thailand in a group of 6-7 cars, when you stop, you're only talking to each other. No locals. But on a bike, locals will come up to you and go, "Sawadee krap, where you from?" That kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. So what makes you of course the bike, I can see the appeal of bike right now, but what makes you think of, because is this the longest trip you ever done, all the way from the tip to tip?
Yeah, 30,000 kilometers is the longest. That's 16 countries. But the second longest is Kuala Lumpur to Uzbekistan. And that was only 9 countries, but it was 15,500 kilometers, half the distance. And I took almost as long, 51 days I did.
Jeez. Wow.
On that particular trip in 2013, I started with some friends and I left them in Russia. And I did Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan on my own. But the whole idea was to get to London via Tajikistan and Iran.
Man, you have so many stories, man.
But the funny thing is, I always trust my instincts. I travel so much, and I would say roughly 80% of my travels I'm alone, and I'm solo. If you count all the days, and I always follow my instinct. And when I got to Uzbekistan, I felt something was wrong. I was supposed to go to London, but something told me, Alex, go home. Don't continue. So I followed my instinct. I rode another 750 kilometers to Tashkent, the capital of Uzbek. And then I booked a ticket. I put my bike, and I had to pay quite a bit last moment, put up my bike on a plane, and I sent it back to Kuala Lumpur. And I stayed there for 4 days, taking photographs in the market, and I flew back. So I never, I flew back. I never continued to London. Yeah.
I see. Wow.
Yeah.
A good, interesting question here before you continue on to the chat. Patrick always asking, is a car net needed for the entire journey? Could you share how you get permits to travel between all 16 countries and stuff like that?
Patrick, you'll be surprised to know that we had a carnet. We all had our carnets when I started with some friends. But you'd be surprised to know that you don't need a carnet all the way to London. It's only Europe it's only South Africa that you need a carnet. So the whole of Asia and Europe, you don't need a carnet.
That's cool.
We have it with us anyway. But when we went into Russia and all that, they just look at the carnet, they push it aside. In Russia, all they cared about is that your visa chop is on the same passport that you're traveling with, not on the previous passport that you brought along with you. Even though it's not expired, that's pretty much it, really.
Right. Thanks for answering the question for Patrick. I hope that helps you answer. If you did, give us a thumbs up or something like that, so we know. Yeah. Anyways, so why was it the record you want to break or something? What makes you wanted to go and say, I'm going to drive from the bottom to top of US?
Actually, like many bikers, we have all watched this video called Long Way Round, which is Ewan McGregor and Charlie Bowman. So I saw them do that. I watched the video. I read their books and all that. So I was, very inspired by these guys doing it. That's why I did my Kuching to Tawa on a scooter. Then I did Pontianak on a scooter, which is Indonesia, right? From here, in Kuching, we can cross to Indonesia.
Yeah.
And so I've always wanted to do big distances, but one day online I saw this British guy arranging a trip for a whole bunch of Brits to go. So I just emailed him. I said, "Hey, can I follow?" He said, "Oh no, you can't, because we don't have a slot for you anymore, because we're kind of full. I can only take care of so many people." So I went, "Okay, anyway." So anyway,
So I'm going to do it myself.
yeah, 2 weeks later, he messages me. He goes, "I've got a slot for you. One guy canceled, but you have to find your own bike." Pretty much it. Then he managed to borrow one for me. And then I ended up buying that bike for £1,000, which is 6,000 ringgit. So I used
the bike that you use. Can you show the bike, Simon? So I saw that you got the Yamaha, right? What made you choose the bike? Like, there's so many bikes. I would probably think, like, if I ever get on a bike, I want like a GS, something big and touring, and and something, because it's a touring bike, right?
Yeah.
So what made you choose this bike though?
I didn't choose it because I was invited into the team from Britain last moment. So there's no way to send my bike across, or for me to find a bike there that I like, whatever. So the guy Nick said, the best I can do is I can find you a bike. So he found me an old XT660R Yamaha. He said, "This will have to do." I said, "Yeah, I'll write whatever you find for me."
Wow, it's so spotting.
So I only just saw the bike when I got to Buenos Aires. And
Oh, really?
we had all kinds of problems with customs and everything, you can imagine. So when the bike came out from customs at 1 a.m. in the morning, one cold night in Buenos Aires, I was sick that night. I remember I caught a very bad cold. I saw the bike, I went, "Okay, this is it." And I just made it work,
Wow. So it wasn't like a conscious choice why I choose this bike. You just chose because it was there. It's so spotting.
And that question you asked me, why this bike, is the same question that Wong asked me. I must be the only Facebook guy where our king, the Agong, contacted on Facebook during my journey. He contacted me on Facebook and he said, "I wish I was with you on this journey. Godspeed, ride safe, blah, blah, blah. When you come back to Malaysia, I want to see you. Take plenty of videos, take plenty of photographs." So I didn't think much of it. His ADC was contacting me on Facebook. When I finished my journey, 65 days later, I went to LA and I got back to Malaysia. When I landed in KLIA, I posted on Facebook, "I'm back, just landed." As we all do, us Facebook guys.
Yeah.
I didn't think anything about it, but next thing I know, I got a message from the ADC. Don Crew asked, "Is Wednesday 10 a.m. okay for you?" Our king said, "Is Wednesday 10 a.m. okay for you to meet him in the palace?" No, I'm busy. Of course, it's okay for me. So I went to see. Let me tell you this story. So I went to see the king at 10 a.m. sharp.
Wow.
And the ADC said to me, "You have half an hour. Okay, you have a slot, half an hour with the king." I said, "Okay." After half an hour, that's kind of it. So it ended up I was with him for 1 hour 40 minutes. So
I could imagine that.
And he asked the same question. The first question he asked is, Hey, Alex, come. They said, "Alex, I want to ask you, why did you use a Yamaha? I ride a BMW. Why are you using Yamaha?" I go, "Donku, that's the only bike that was available for me. It was the Yamaha. So that's why I used it." So, yeah.
Yeah, because there's a peculiar thing. Because when I started looking through your pictures, I'm like, well, that's not the most particularly comfortable bike that you would choose.
No, it wasn't comfortable. It had I call it a bumdurance, which is
Bumdurance.
It had a bumdurance of 45 minutes, meaning that after 45 minutes, I have to stand up on my peg and slap my ass and just get some circulation back.
Oh man, I can just imagine that. Let's look at the comments a little bit. Bobby says, "We need your help for planning our epic Malaysia to Nuremberg mega convoy." Oh, I would love to do that. Dexter is asking this: are there any life-threatening situations that to go through in the trip? Any dangerous things? There will be some things after the next break. We'll talk about that in a moment, for sure. Yeah.
Derek, okay. I'd like to answer Derek's question about the Akrapovič factory. It's a good story there.
Akrapovič factory, yeah.
Oh, we're still on? I thought we were getting. Okay.
No, we'll continue. Yeah.
Derek, you asking, is this the expedition? No, that was another trip where I did most of Europe on a motorcycle as well. And I had my friend Barry Smith riding with me. And when we got to Slovenia, I knew Akrapovič factory was in Slovenia. So I said to Barry, we're gonna go and visit somewhere special. So it took us forever to find it. We had to ask the locals, because the factory is in a farm area. So finally we found it, and we rode in this like a farm road, and there was the factory, and all this titanium rods outside, and they just put it out in the open under a shed, a big factory. And security said, why are you here? That is the factory. That's not the shop or the showroom or whatever. And that's also where they do R&D for all the special cars that they hide in their special rooms, I didn't know that. So when I went to security, was like, well, so anyway, they got management to come out. And management said, why are you here? I said, I'm Malaysian and my bikes use Akrapovič. So I know you guys are around here somewhere, so that's why I'm here. And I brought my friend, we just wanted to visit. And they were like, wow, you came all this way just because you want to see the factory? Wait, we can't show you this part, that part, because we got some special cars in there. We got special project. But hey, wait. And he ran in and he came out with T-shirts and keychains, and he said, this is for you, this is, So we took a picture on Facebook, me and the Akrapovič guys, and it's a big deal for me, but not for people.
It would be a big deal, right? Because all of the bikes use Akrapovič, my car that you haven't seen it yet, it's got a full Akrapovič system, and I love that. I love Akrapovič. Man, that must be an awesome trip, man. I think that's the thing, right? You go so far and out of the way, people will make way for you, right? Because you came all the way, and stuff like that. Super awesome. Super awesome.
We went to Greece, and I finished in Greece and turned back around. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So in that bike you particularly talk about the Yamaha, right? Did it break down? Did you have any issues with your bikes and stuff? Were you just smooth sailing all the way? Because it's a Japanese bike, right? It's supposed to be reliable because it's Yamaha, right? So did it break down or something?
No, it never. The engine never once gave me trouble. The sprocket broke down because I had a lot of wear on my sprocket.
Okay.
It's an old chain and sprocket, so.
So what's a sprocket? Sorry, I'm not.
The gear linkage, which holds onto the chain. So you got the front rear sprocket, and that's what drives it. That's what drives you. Drives the engine drives the sprocket, and the sprocket drives the chain. And
Oh, so that jumped out, like it pop out and stuff?
No, it was always popping out. So that I would have to stop, take out my sprocket adjuster, and then it would go for 30 more kilometers. I should stop, adjust it until I got to Panama City, and then I managed to find a Yamaha shop there, and I bought a whole bunch of parts, and then we fitted it that night. Yeah.
Wow. So how long do you have to bear with that sprocket?
Oh, I think I did it for about 300 kilometers. Before that, it was really starting to have problems, but yeah. And I had 6 punctures, over 30,000 kilometers.
Punctures. What would you hit, like nails or rocks or something?
It's an old bike, so everything was old on it. So, but in South America, every corner has an old man fixing tires, because it's tube tires, right? So there's always an old man with a burner, and he cuts a patch out, he burns it onto the thing. So it costs $1 US. Every time I have a problem, I just rather push or something and get myself to that instead of doing it myself. So
this is so epic, man. I would have given up 6 punctures and 6 punctures and every 30 kilometers the sprocket jumping out. I will go crazy, man. I will go crazy.
There are photographs of me waiting for the old man to fix my bike. You can see the tires are off, and there I am having the Guatemalan chicken soup.
I'm trying to look for a picture, but man, you got so many pictures. I just, both me and Simon were looking at pictures like, wow, which picture shall we use and stuff like that. But man, so after you fixed that parts, and then it all went fine all the way up to Alaska.
Oh no, when I got to Los Angeles, I had 3-day break there, so I sent my my bike to a friend who's got a workshop, and he just basically refreshed everything for me. We put new everything on it, you know, and I also learned from being so damn cold and I suffered in South America, so I bought a windscreen, a big giant windscreen. I put it onto my bike for the trip to Alaska through Canada.
Cool.
So
this is the one, isn't it? This one, you're changing the.
One of the stops by the side of the road. Yeah.
Oh, there's a puncture.
Yeah, a lot of punctures. That's the sprocket I have to adjust. You see, that's
thing, right? This thing.
Yeah, you gotta unscrew that bit there.
Oh, that must have looked really. That must be really annoying. Every 30 kilometers, man. Every 30 kilometers.
I ran on tires, threadless tires for about. I mean, a lot of people can't believe that I did like 300-400 kilometers without thread, but I did. You see, over here you can see there's no thread. But I had no tires.
There's third puncture in the tire in Hong Chaco.
Yeah, I just rode like that.
You're crazy, man. You live life like on the edge, man. Tell me a little bit more about this place. This place looks like a bunch of like desert and beach.
Yeah, that's on the way to Lima, Peru.
Oh.
So you pass the desert, the Atacama Desert. You know, it's all through South America. It goes from Argentina to Chile to Peru, Bolivia, and that's the famous desert called Atacama. And I rode through that.
It looks like a desert, but it's not a desert, isn't it?
It is a desert, but it's got a nice road going through it.
Oh man, that was what happened here, man.
This was my lucky. This is my friend's lake, it's not mine. But, Peru, and when we got to Lima, Peru, they were going to go camping, and at that time I wanted a bit of luxury already, so I said I'm going to go and stay in a hotel. So they went to camp and they got bitten by these funny insects. All of them got attacked. So luckily I didn't. I was in a hotel with my friend Barry.
Shit, yeah, man. So they did break down because I was thinking like, Japanese bike, it should last.
Yeah.
But if you get a choice, if you do this trip again, would you change the bike or would you just take the same bike, or which bike would be ideal for you?
Ooh, I don't want to sound like a brand whatever, but there's one bike I would prefer to travel with most of the time if I do long trips. Yeah, there's one particular bike.
It'd be a GS?
I use that in Europe. You know about bikes, do you? I use that in Europe. So I've been okay. Europe has got 44 countries in Europe, right? I've done 39. So I left my bike in London the year before last, and last year I was supposed to go back and continue to go up to Ireland and Scotland.
Yeah.
As you all know, we all got stuck, and so my bike's parked in London in my nephew's garage.
Yeah. Well, we couldn't travel as well, and I really wanted to go to Europe this year. I wanted to take my dad to a Geneva car show.
Oh, that would have been.
Yeah, nice. But then COVID.
Yeah.
And by the way, guys, if you're tuning in, we're talking to Alex about his trip from Pan America, but he's also the man that drove a Spider as well. He got a beautiful white Spider. Simon, can we show the picture of his Spider? Because I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Can we show his Spider? Yeah, he has. Is right now is it in Mallorca right now?
The car, yeah, the car's. Yeah, this is when I picked it up.
In London.
I rode my bike to Moscow from Norway, Oslo.
Yeah.
My motorcycle, and when I hit Moscow, I turned around, and I went to Latvia, Estonia, and I was supposed to go to Belarus, but the traffic was so bad. I went, okay, screw it. I turned around, went back to Poland, Germany, got to London. I spent a week there, and then I picked up my car and I drove down to Spain. Yeah.
Oh,
and I left.
I saw that video. Yeah. Oh, so good.
This was taken near one of the best driving roads in the whole of Europe. It's in a place called Andorra. I think it's called.
You know what, guys, ladies and gentlemen, you know why I actually got the car? Because Alex have the opportunity to chance upon some amazing cars in his whole life. Ferraris, Porsches, 9 Porsches, I think, right? And stuff. And then Alex said that this is one of the best sports cars I've driven in my life. I remember the moment when he said it over the Kopi Ladang coffee, and I was like, I must get this car.
Yeah, this car, as you know now, why I said it is because this car proves that it's not all about horsepower. You know, everyone goes, that's 600. This has 650 horsepower. Who cares? This one has only, what is it?
370.
Huh?
370.
Yeah. See, 400 horsepower, say, and that's all you need. And it's just so fun to drive. It's a nice balance between chassis and horsepower. You're not overpowered. You're not underpowered. It's a manual gearbox. It's perfect spacing.
It sets your soul on fire when you drive it. For me, like it just pulls you in the world, and you just want to keep hearing the engine again and again and again and again. And the way it takes corners is so flattering. And wow! But thanks so much, Alex. I want to take this opportunity to thank you again for inspiring me to get that Spider. I have no regrets, zero regrets on this car.
Good.
So happy with that.
Now all you have to do is let me try it once up Genting.
Absolutely. I really want you to drive. And by the way, Alex drives really well. But true story, I kept up with him in my C43. That I'm proud of. Not in the Spider yet. Not yet. Couldn't overtake him. Just kept up with him. All right. So okay, we're gonna go for a little break. But before we go on the break, yes, I want to ask this question. Of course, you run a cafe in called Feast and Furious in Kuching. Guys, if you're in Kuching, go and check out the cafe. I've seen it from outside. It's like crazy in there. There's like a F1. It's an F1 car in there, isn't it? Right?
F1. It's a show car from Aero's team, because we the Aero's team. That was the very first F1 team sponsored by a Malaysian company.
Yeah, wow. That thing is worth going to take a look, right?
The older guys among you will know names like Pedro de la Rosa, Tora Takagi, but you know, the younger ones, you will know about those F1 drivers, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right. So it's in Kuching. I've seen it somewhere. It's a corner, right? It's a corner shop, right?
Yeah. You've seen it?
Yeah, I've been there. I just never got a chance to go in. You know, I got a friend who's a biker, and then he walked me past like, oh, this is a nice place to go. And then we got to go for a training. So I was running a training, so I have no chance to go and take a look at it. But I really wanted to go. Definitely going there. But anyways, you run a cafe. Undoubtedly in this trip, you must have eaten something really interesting, especially in the southern continent. What was the craziest thing you've ate?
You know, the most often, okay, through South America, everywhere you go, right, they have jamón y queso, which means ham and cheese sandwich. So it became my staple diet because it was just so easy. Every time I'm filling up, I go, what do you have? They go, Senor, jamón y queso. Everywhere, queso, and I had coming out of my ears. So that was the sandwich I ate the most. But apart from food, I'll tell you what was really exciting for me.
What's that?
I've been going up through El Salvador, Nicaragua, Panama, Costa Rica, everything. Then I got to Colombia one night, and so it was late, and I got to this cafe, and it's Colombia. So pretty women, beautiful women everywhere. So I started writing to my diary. I said, guys, because I published a book, right? This is my book about my journey. Okay.
What? You have a book?
This is the book about my journey, right?
What else you don't do, man? You record music. You have a book.
Wow. So I published this book, and my friend said, and you know, on Facebook I went, guys, all my single friends, you must come to Colombia because I'm here sitting at a cafe, and every 5 seconds there's a beautiful girl walking by. But the girls didn't ask me so much as what was on the menu. I saw Milo Frito. So I asked the girl, I said, is this Milo? I said, yes, Milo, drink. I was so excited because, you know, I didn't have Milo the whole way. So I ordered, it was iced Milo. So it's a big day for me because it was like after 40 days or 38 days without Milo. Yeah.
Wow. Milo, like that must be refreshing for you. By the time there's probably like 30 days in the trip or 40 days in the trip.
Yeah, something like that. But going back to the story about that, so my friends all started messaging me privately. They said, you shouldn't have said that Colombia is the place for bachelors to go. I go, why? He said, because now, you know, my wife would not let me go to Colombia. I go, it's for bachelors. I said, yeah, but we want to go with our bachelor friends. So anyway, so I spoiled them, I guess. Sorry, guys.
Pro tip. No. Oh yeah. Well, but that's Bobby's other pro tip. I was thinking he's going to talk about a pro tip about telling. He's going to give a tip about traveling to Colombia, but he's talking about Milo, so it's fine. I think Bobby will figure out a tip to let all these fellow men here to know how to tell their wives to go to Colombia.
Can I just plug my book? Not because I want to sell it, but because I think that's interesting for bikers, especially and travelers. Because the way I wrote this book, I only printed 900 copies, and I've only got 120 copies left, right? But the way I wrote this book, it's got a lot of details, GPS data and stuff like that. How many kilometers I traveled each day, so that when you read it, you can kind of plan, just what it takes to go a certain distance, So the difference between a biker who travels around the world and a guy who travels by plane is that when we look at a world map, right? Say, when you look at a world map, you go like, oh, Kuching to Thailand to Bangkok. I mean, Kuala Lumpur to Bangkok. You go, that's a 2-hour flight. But for us, we go like, I can do that in 16 hours. So we think in terms of hours, in terms of kilometers. And this book helps you to calculate those kind of hours and kilometers, because that's how I do it. I write throughout. This book is basically my diary, because every time I stop for lunch and dinner, I will write using a pen.
Wow.
Pen and paper.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I want one.
You should get one.
Yeah, but I want one. I want for sure. And guys, if you want to, so where can we get info about where to get this book?
You just have to go on my Facebook and go, I want a copy. And then the guy from the shop, his name is Khalid, he will contact you and he'll ship it free any part of Malaysia.
All right. So just Buzz Alex on Facebook.
But if you're in KL and you're a biker, you can go to Sunny Cycle. They have stock.
Sunny Cycle.
Yeah, Sunny Cycle in KL.
Okay.
Cool. But here in Kuching, of course, my cafe has it on sale. But like I said, I only have 120 copies left. I'm not going to print anymore. So
you can go to Fast and Furious to get it. You can go to Sunny Cycle in KL. And for those of you who need shipping, just send Alex a message on Facebook. Or if you can't find Alex Facebook, just message me. I'll let the guys know over there, and then we'll get it sorted out. All right.
We ship in Malaysia for free. So
that's awesome, man. I want a book because it will go on one of the books that's over there for sure. That is crazy. And I get the allure of trips, right? The only trip I did long distance was with Bobby, but now I feel like an amateur because I've only done 2,000 kilometers of the Phuket in my BMW M235i. But it starts right?
Measures distance, but it doesn't matter. You could do a 100-kilometer trip. It could be as fun as a 1,000-kilometer trip because it's just about going, moving, not staying still. Yeah.
Nice. All right. But anyways, we're gonna go for a break right now. After the break, we're gonna talk about some amazing stories that comes from Alex, and because not everything went smoothly in the trip, right? There are a lot of things that are memorable and extraordinary. So we're going to talk about those things. And in fact, we're going to talk about Alex told me that he arrived at an ambush scene by some narcotics special ops people 5 minutes. He was just 5 minutes after the scene happened, and there were a big scene and many other of this coming after the break. Okay, let's go for a quick break right now. Cool. So, what's that?
Can we answer some of these questions that are
Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look a little bit. But before that, just want to let you guys know, Evo Club Car Wash, check us out as well. Those are some things over there. And those of you who want to get your cars clean, shout out to my own company, AutoStar. We're in Kuchai Lama and also in Shah Alam. We got a package out there. Just let us know. Follow us on Instagram, right? Cool. Anyways, let's just look at the questions. So what questions are you looking at, man?
No, I see some people like KC Lee saying he needs to visit my cafe after this COVID show is over. Yeah. All of you here tonight, if you're gonna come to my cafe, give me a buzz before you go. If I'm in town in Kuching, which I'm likely to be, then I'll try to meet you. Let me buy you coffee. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
I want to get the Kuching. By the way, there's a curiosity here. How many of you here would be interested to do the Trans-Borneo tour? Like to come over to do the Trans-Borneo tour? Because I think Alex would like to host one. I would like to. If you'd like to, type on the chat Trans-Borneo. So we get a good gauge that who wants to go over there and do that crazy trip all the way from, well, probably not so crazy for Alex, but crazy for me.
But no, we're gonna plan this Trans-Borneo thing with Bobby, and I guess it'll be an Evo drive, right? And I'll focus on good food, good stops. The overnight stops will all be epic. It'll be an epic trip. They're building the Trans-Borneo highway right now. Yeah. So I wrote on part of it that was completed, and it's gonna be. But
every time you send a picture, I'm like this guy has the best view.
Yeah, it's amazing. Borneo is really amazing.
Yeah. Wow, so many people want to go. Look at that. Sylvans, Bobby, CW, Patrick, Alban, Daniel, Willie Tay. There's so many people want to go on this Trans-Borneo trip. Tana. Yeah. Right. Cool. That's freaking
It'd be
cool,
good,
man.
but I see us having to limit it for sure because,
Well, for sure.
We'll work it out. Yeah.
I would love to do a Trans-Borneo tour. The funny thing is, guys, before you continue on the chat, when I was in we're in KL, we're doing the lockdown, and he's in Trans-Borneo trip. And every time I would send a picture of my car because I can't drive anywhere, so I take a picture of my car. I'm like, oh my god, I can't drive my car, and then I'm like, that's the best view ever. Then Alex sends a picture of where he is. I'm like, now my car doesn't look so nice anymore.
I knew that everyone's in lockdown in KL, so I was like, and it's right now. You guys are in lockdown, and here I am in Kuching. I can drive anywhere I want tomorrow.
Oh man, you guys are blessed, and I mean, by the way, we started doing drives in Kuching right now, right? And meetup point is at Feast and Furious Cafe, right?
No. My place doesn't have good parking, so we meet elsewhere. Yeah, and
cool,
I
cool.
I want the drives to be about promoting my cafe. It's got nothing to do with my cafe, so yeah.
Okay. But anyways, of course, it's good to have food and place to chit chat for car people, right? Yeah. So it's always a good thing to have. Yeah. Okay. So you got all the questions answered?
No.
I want to ask.
CCW said he just got a bike and he wants to ride one day when when you ride, I'll try to join you for one part of the journey wherever you're going. But but I do Kuching to KK all the time on my bike. My fastest time is 13 hours plus from Kuching to KK. But in a car, my fastest time is 15 hours, 5 minutes in a Mini Cooper S. Yeah.
Or the R56, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow. For that. Wow, that's a lot of miles to cover, man.
1,300 exactly.
Jeez. Yeah. How many? By the way, I'll answer a question. If any. By the way, if any of you guys got any questions, please just drop it on the chat. We can interact with you anytime, and we would love to interact with you.
Yeah, ask your questions. I'll try to answer them.
Yeah. So, anyways, I got a question to ask. You told me that you had some really interesting things that happened. I sent you a text and like, tell me what happened, and then you're like, oh, this happened to me. I'm like, what? So you told me you arrived in Guatemala. There was a narcotic squad, and but was it like a shooting scene or like what happened, man?
I was riding alone at first, and then I bumped into
alone. Shit.
Yeah, I left the guys in the British group. I left them in Panama City. So I said goodbye. I'm gonna ride on my own. So I took off at 6 a.m. the next day. Anyway, I bumped into two Americans a policeman and ex-army guy, and they were taking a piss. Okay, this is a good story because they were taking a piss by the side of the road, riding the KTMs. The KTMs were parked in a very weird position. So I went by and I did this, like that. You know, I just saluted them, and they were taking a piss. They looked at me and went. They looked at each other and went, "Let's get in." They want to chase me to talk to me. They don't want to talk to any biker. You know what I mean? Because they haven't seen a biker for so long. So they chased me and they finally got to me, and then he put out his hand and said, "Wait, where are you from?" He wanted to shake my hands, and I didn't want to shake his hands because I know he was taking a piss earlier on, and I know he couldn't have found water to wash his hands earlier between there and now, you know. But anyway, we became friends and we started riding together for 6 days. But when we were riding through a farm in Guatemala, we turned a corner and the narcotics police had just ambushed 2 cars. It was a Mustang. A Mustang was upside down in the ditch, and it was a pickup, some kind of pickup truck on the right hand side with the door open. The guy was out on the floor. The guy was dead. You know, I could see blood everywhere. They already killed him. And the Mustang guy, I guess they pulled him out. He was dead on the side of the road as well. And the police looked at me and they went, you know, they were wearing the full bulletproof vest, and I could see on the back narcotics or something in South America. And they went, vamos, asked me to Jaboof. So the 2 guys also, you know, I had my GoPro on the top, but it wasn't on. Lucky it wasn't on, because if it had been flashing, they might have stopped me. So vamos. As I went by slowly, there was a big lady on the road, one of the guys that ambushed, one of the girls. And she wasn't dead, but they had the boot. The guy had the boot on her throat and the gun on her head. And he was stepping on her throat, and she was like choking and looked at me and went, vamos, move. So I just,
it's like a drama, like a NCIS or some CSI.
Well, Bruce, Steve, and I, we were talking about it when we got to the hotel that night. We said, wow, if we had arrived 5 minutes earlier, we might have been caught in the crossfire, because they ambushed those guys traveling on the same road. So just imagine if we were behind those guys.
Oh man, that would be horrible.
Yeah, that would have been scary, yeah. So
because of these 2 guys that stopped you to have a chat with you, you missed that.
Well, no, that was we'd already been traveling together.
We've been traveling. Yes, we've been traveling already. Yeah.
But those 2 guys, to this day, those 2 guys, we remain the best of friends. And that guy Bruce has come over to ride with us in Thailand and in KL. So.
Wow, that's freaking awesome, man. Jeez, and it must be stuck for you, man. Did it shock you in the journey, or just carried on? And
no, I mean, we carried on, but we were like, wow, I think we're quite lucky. After that, we stopped that night. We stopped in Guatemala, and the next day, Steve said, let's go and climb. Let's look at a volcano, active volcano.
Oh yeah, that one. You said the volcano was erupted after you left, right?
It erupted after we left, and it killed the journalists who went there to report on it. Yeah.
Oh.
It erupted exactly 3 weeks after we left, after we climbed to the top. Yeah.
How tall was this volcano? Like?
It took us about, it's a 4-hour trek. So, yeah.
Jeez, man, you hike, you climb, you do all these things, man. I know how you do it.
But because I'm traveling so fast, I miss some stuff. Like in Costa Rica, there's a river which is full of crocodiles. Crocodiles are just one on top of each other. You know, you can see it on YouTube. But I missed it. I didn't know where it was, and I went.
You wanted to see them?
Yeah, I wanted to see. Yeah, but yeah.
You wanted to go and see the crocodile infested land.
It's a tourist attraction, but you know, it was probably way off
crazy.
Route.
Well, I think it shows the pictures to the guys. So this is the one you climbed the volcano, right?
Yeah, this is when we climbed the volcano. That's right. Wow, you could find out. Yeah, that's the trek up. You know,
that's you.
These cheesy green. Yeah.
Look at that.
No, we're burning mush. I brought about. Actually, no, I didn't bring it up. As I was going out, a guy was coming down. He said, "Do you want some leftover marshmallows?" We didn't finish it, so we took the marshmallows out. We barbecued the marshmallows.
Oh, and that's Steve.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's
And that's
Los
amazing, right? You made new friends along the way and stuff. That's crazy. Wow.
Steve, this is when I said, there, the two of us, can you see? The two of us on the bike there, yeah. That's when I said goodbye to them. And then I said, guys, I'm going to go to Acapulco tomorrow. And they go, why do you want to go to Acapulco? Come with us. We're going to Osaka. You know, we're going to go and see some ruins. I said, I don't want to see any more ruins. I want to go to Starbucks. I want to have a nice coffee. And I want to go have sushi. So Acapulco is like a resort capital, resort city, you know?
Oh,
so,
and this is where you split lah.
So listen, I got to Acapulco. I rode 750 kilometers that day through one of the worst drug areas, you know, when the gangs were having war. The drug gangs were having war at that time, 2010. And a lot of people getting killed. So I drove through all those villages where a lot of gang fights were happening, but nothing happened to me. I checked into a hotel, and the next day I went to
crazy, man. You're crazy, dude. You're crazy.
the hotel by the beach, and the next day I went to Starbucks, and I read the English newspaper, and it said 17 headless bodies found on the beach in Acapulco. And I went, what? I'm in Acapulco. So I look, and I talked to some people. You know where the bodies were found? Behind my hotel. So I walked there to have a look, and the yellow tape was still there. The police tape was still there. So it's like madness, you know.
Wow.
But,
did it shook you or something? Did you get out like immediately? Because I would.
you know, when I travel, I don't go to bars. You know, I go to nice restaurants whenever I can.
Yeah.
But I don't go to bars, because you go to a bar, you're asking for trouble because the people are drunk there. So, you know, it's just the same as if you're in KL, you know, someone might look at you and say, hey, what are you looking at? So I don't.
You never gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, I don't put myself in a position whereby someone can find trouble with me. You know.
I mean, if I were you, it's quite a physical act to drive right for a long term. I don't want to be drinking because I'm gonna need to be able to be fresh the next day riding and stuff, right? So it's not something that you want to do anyways. Yeah. And there's some questions over here. Sorry, go ahead.
A lot of times I wanted to quit, like especially in South America. It was just I wasn't prepared for it because I didn't. I was going
to ask you, did you ever think like you're going to quit halfway or something like that?
So many times, because I wasn't prepared. I didn't even Google before I went to South America. So when I got there, I didn't realize it was going to be so cold. My hands were so cold I couldn't ride my bike. It was just the pain was unbearable, and I would sing to forget the pain. I would sing. And I would sing my songs. I can't even remember the lyrics to my songs. That's how bad it was, you know?
Oh, geez. How cold was it? It
was riding at night. We were riding in 4 degrees. So 4 degrees with windshield is a lot more than 4 degrees.
Oh, man.
And my hands were just, you know, my friend Barry.
Hours and hours and hours. It's not just like a 10-minute ride or something like that.
Yeah, there was one night I was leading the group and we're going into Australia. And I just had to stop. And I stopped on the side of the road. It was like 10 p.m. And I started running on the spot. And Barry stopped. Said, "What's wrong?" I said, "I just need to run." He started running with me on the spot just to stay warm.
Jeez.
So when we got to Ushuaia, I went to a shop the next day and I started buying thermal gloves and I started buying all the stuff I should have had in the first place. Yeah.
Wow. And you still continue, right? What else would be a part of the journey you say that that's it, I'm gonna quit, like that you're thinking about quitting?
A lot of times because you see, unlike the British guys, they all had 4-season tents, which could take the winter, summer, and all that. I bought my tent from Parks and Grand. You know, it cost 200.
Oh, so the thing on the back of your bike is a tent.
Rolled up. My tent is like the thin tent for summer. It cost me 180 ringgit or something. So the first time I took my tent out, the British guys were watching me put my tent out. They had already put up their big tents with the multi-layer thing. They saw my tent, and Barry said to me very succinctly, he went, "Alex, you're gonna die." That's the basically. And that night it was unbearable. And he camped next to me, and I could hear him through the tent. He went, "Hey, Alex, mate." I said, "Yeah. Look, mate, I got room here for you. Come in and stay in my tent. But my
So that's the tent, right? The orange thing is the tent, right?
Yeah. No, that's my duffel bag. The tent is there. The tent is there. Up there is the mat. Yeah, what you're pointing at there is the mat for my tent. It's just the ground sheet.
And you're eating the bread with ham and cheese, right?
Yeah. When we saw one of those towns, I put together a hot dog pack. So I had tomato sauce, I had mustard, I had buns, I had sausages. So whenever we stop, I would make it for the guys who were riding with me on that particular day. So
yeah, I can see it. Yeah, I can see them and see them. Oh, that's awesome. Jeez. So you stayed in these tents. Oh man, like it must be horrible.
Which I had on my trip, which I didn't think to Maggi chili sauce.
Oh.
Simple. If I had Maggi chili sauce, everything I had would have tasted, a lot of stuff that was a bit bland would have fixed
Oh
it.
yeah, us Malaysians, we need a little bit spice, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had a lot of ham and cheese. So I know what to not make Alex when he comes visit.
This chicken soup, the whole of South America, everyone makes the same chicken soup, so it's very nice. So that's the other thing that I have a lot of.
That's cool, man. Anyways, let's move on to another few questions. Someone asking a question over here actually before I move on to my questions. Trijah Zidan, sorry if I butchered your name, but he asked, how did you start riding? Yeah, he asked the question.
Well, I first started riding when I was studying in Australia. I was in boarding school, and I was in a boarding school where it was like torture school. They train us to do like the hiking master would say, this weekend 40 miles. You have to do 40 miles. They check on you. 3 nights, blah blah blah, etc. We have to do marathon, mini marathon, 18-mile runs. We have to do kayak trips, 5 days, survival trips. Anyway, so among all that thing, on weekends, certain weekends, they will send you to work at farms. So I worked at every farm. I worked at milk farms. I worked at cattle farms. I built fences. I've done it all. But there's some farms that I went to where the farm is so big they don't use a horse to herd the cattle. They use scramblers, motorcycles.
Oh.
So that's when I started learning how to ride a motorcycle, a proper motorcycle with gears.
Oh wow.
When I finished studying and all that, and finally when I came back, I was always more of a car guy. But when I came back to Kuching, my brother bought a bike, and typically he bought it, he rode it once, and he left it with me. So that's it. So I got into biking, and became an addicted. Yeah, addicted to build. Yeah.
This is an interesting question because I know this guy who's asking this question. He's seen many cars. So this is Vikash asking, what cars does Alex own right now?
Okay, right now, sports cars, right? I've got a Hilux, which I'm very proud of.
You're gonna need one in Kuching, right?
120,000 kilometer Hilux. It's like maybe 10 years old. I love that car. It's not going for a refresh right now. So I'm so excited to pick it up tomorrow. So anyway, my car. But yeah, I've got the California, and then I have the Spider, and I have a 996 Turbo that I'm trying to sell.
Is it the one with the PDK? Is it with the tip?
The tip.
All right.
Yeah, and
that car's fast, man. I was in the car with Josiah that day, and then he was testing the PDK, and geez, that car just wham! And the thing is a 20-year-old car, and it's like
electronic, right? Maybe PDK. Yeah, Josiah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the California has a PDK, twin clutch. Yeah, the California's got a twin clutch, like your Spider. Oh no, your Spider's
manual. Yeah. What would be the most? So he has owned many cars. Yeah.
I've had I don't know.
Too many. All right, I hope that answers the question, Vikash. There's another interesting question over here. Alex, did you bring an emergency satellite phone along your trips? Stuff like that.
Good question. My family, when I say my family, I mean my 2 brothers.
Yeah.
Once I started doing all this kind of, they would always say to me, "Get a satellite phone so you can reach, so we can reach you." I said, I don't want you to reach me, number one. So I don't want to. No, okay, you don't want us to reach you, but at least you can call out if you have a problem. You know, you're in trouble or something, you can call out. I said, no, if I'm in trouble, I'll find a way out. I always find my way out, you know. But having said that, I had a very big crash on the way to Barrio. It's a 2 days, 3 days ride, and I was the first guy to ride a motorcycle to Barrio. I know that was Mulu, sorry, no, not Barrio. But anyway, I was alone and had a big crash. And as I pulled myself off the road, which I didn't need to do because there's no one comes down that road anyway.
Yeah.
Myself, my God, if I'm really badly hurt now, I can't reach anyone until someone comes along. And at that moment, I went, you should have a satellite phone. But you know, I got out of that problem, and when I got back to Kuching and the trip was over, no, I don't want a satellite phone. Yeah, it's so nice. And all my helmets have no communication system. A lot of my friends, bikers, they have it, so they can answer their phone and all that. I don't want my phone to start. No, that's the last thing I want.
It's so cool, man. So cool, man. Like you're fully there, you're fully present with the whole trip. Yeah.
You reached there.
You know, I watched the Grand Tour, I watched like Jeremy Clarkson and the two guys. And it's all like very film with the film crew and stuff. Yeah, you always have a backup because there's always a film crew around.
Yeah.
And the way you're doing the Grand Tour is like it's just you, man. It's you. And it's just such a ballsy way to do it, and so much inspiration for it. I just makes me want to think about, I want to drive. I'm not a biker, right? And never really liked bikes, but I never tried them, so I don't know, So I always been thinking about getting a KTM Duke 250 or something like that to start with, but I never really did it. But if I'm thinking right now, I really want to drive all the way to like Mae Hong Song, with Bobby and the guys, or just do it myself, just one day pack up my stuff and say, hey, you know what, I'm gonna do a trip. I'm gonna drive up, and listening to you is like, man, why didn't I do it? Why didn't I do it? It's so inspiring to hear you just doing it, right? So I think it's really awesome. I love your stories, man.
One line I can say, a lot of people ask me, aren't you worried that this will happen? What happens if your bike breaks down? What happens if you meet some bad guys? What happens if the weather's so bad that what happens if you fall down the ravine, no one knows? Okay, all I can say is this. If you sat down before you leave, while you're planning your trip, you think about only the things that can go wrong, you will never walk up. You will never go. So don't think about the good things, the bad things. Think only about the good things. Think about the different food you're going to be having when you arrive. Think about all the interesting people you're going to meet along the way. Think about the
beautiful scenes you're going to see.
Beautiful scenes, and and that always, okay, let's go back to when you asked me, did you ever think about quitting? If you read my book, you see so many times in that book, I go like, I want to quit. When I got to town, I go like, I'm going to find a hotel. I'm going to find a small airport where I can take a light plane out and then catch a bigger plane and then get back home. I'll ship my bike out. I'll sell my bike. But I always tell myself that, but invariably what happens is I get to the hotel, because I'm cold, that's why I think of going home. I get to the hotel, I have a hot shower, and I get a nice meal. When that meal is down in your stomach, you just go, no, I'm not going to quit. You're back in your comfort zone again. Yeah.
Food and hot shower fixes everything. That's a good tip.
The other thing is, like, it happened to me in China, where I got lost and I was on my own, right in the Bonduks, And it was one of the few times I got scared. I got so scared that I was like now, I think, Alex, today is the day you get hurt. That's what I told myself. Then how I got out of that mind frame is I then parked my bike. I told myself, you're only scared because you don't know this place. This place is new to you. China and the rural China and this mountain is all new to you. Just pretend you're in Tabudu, which is not far from here, 100 kilometers from Kuching. Pretend you're in Tabudu. In Tabudu, it looks remote as well, but around the corner there's this village. You know that guy there? So it might seem remote, but you're not that remote. Just tell yourself, you always find someone to help you. Once I told myself that, I calmed down. My heart calmed down, everything calmed down, and I go, okay, you can make it. You can make it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's not, and I always got the feeling that your journey is not just all the good things, because there are like personal challenges as well, you know.
You know, that same day, that China day, that I was really scared, I finally found my way out. And I came down this hill and I saw like shops and all. I went, oh my God, you know, you're gonna be fine now because you know civilization, there are people around. And I saw an old man pushing a cart full of heavy stuff like wood and all that. And I started crying. I started
Wow.
crying because
Civilization.
yeah, it was like a release. I look at it, I went, here you are, you know, feeling sorry for yourself up there. Look at the old man. He's suffering every single day, you know. And I just started, and then I asked myself, God, you're crying. Why are you crying? You know, I actually sat down. I parked the bike and I got a drink and I went, calm down, Alex, calm down.
Wow. Dude, you're so inspiring, man. Like hearing your stories, like just going alone and stuff. Like, geez. Guys, I think this is awesome. I learned so much from his stories. And Casey is a really good. Casey said, Alex is a really good storyteller and many interesting experience. Yeah, I mean, every time I sit down with him, there's always a new experience, and he tells stories that, you know, your coffee gets cold and you're still listening to him, you know. And that's what I love about hanging out with Alex.
I'm not making it up.
Yeah. Anyways, there's so many things you can talk about, man. But I got to say, at this point, as hosting this show, I'm really inspired, man. And I'm thinking about like, hey, you know, do that trip, man. Do that trip. You know, one of the things I always wanted to do is, you know, go to London, like pick up an old BMW. That back then I didn't have the idea of an E30 or something, and drive it in Europe, drive it all across to Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
You know, I always wanted to do it. So, you know what? If you can, if Alex can take that car from the bike from South America all the way to North, I can do Europe. I'll figure it out along the way.
Yeah,
figure it out.
Europe is what you would call a luxury tour, you know, because
Yeah.
nice
Oh
cafe.
yeah. It's compared to a bike, yeah. And Bobby said this: life can only be measured by how many times your soul has been deeply stirred by great memories. And this is a Sechiro Honda,
It's
and
true.
I so agree with that. So agree with that. Right.
It sounds weird. You have to have been scared a few times in your life, like really, really scared to kind of experience something, you know. If it's all comfortable, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's not. You know, you need to be in danger a few times. I know it's the wrong thing.
Yeah, I think like part of trying to stay away from danger is also part of what's dangerous, because I feel life is to be lived, isn't it? To put yourself out there and live it. And part of life is there are danger, there are everything. You have to accept all part of life. That's all part of it, isn't it? Yeah.
When we were preparing for this show, I told you there's one story I didn't want to tell because it was about the only time I ever felt my life was in danger. It was in Alaska. And I said I didn't want to tell the story. I told it briefly in my book. You'll have to get a copy to know. But anyway, but actually, I just tell it really, really briefly here. Because I didn't want to tell the story because to a person who wasn't there, it would sound like Alex is just exaggerating and making things seem a lot worse than it actually was. But actually, no matter how I describe it, I couldn't over-exaggerate how bad a situation I was in with this one guy who came to say hello to me in Alaska in a cafe. And I think that guy wanted to kill me, for sure. I know for sure he wanted to kill me.
Intuitively, you felt it.
Yes, I felt it. So I got myself out of that situation. But by that time, we were already in the woods, supposedly at his home, which wasn't his home. I know for sure it wasn't his home. I'm cutting a long story very short. But basically, to cut it really, really short, our eyes met at one stage at about 30 meters apart. He had got out of the car, he walked to the back of this shack, a wooden lodge, deep in the woods. So I told myself, if you run out towards the highway. I told myself it's about 1/2 mile. I calculated it was one mile. So I can run faster than him, I know for sure. So I was going to run. If anything happened, I was going to run out straight to the highway. But he went to the back of this so-called house of his. I know it wasn't his house. From the way he was acting, it was someone else's house. He just wanted to make sure that no one was around. And he said to me, he came up from the back of the house like this and went, "Come here, Alex. I'll show you where you can park your bike when you finish your journey, when you come back from Alaska." But the way it happened, I knew then that if I gone walked there to the back, he would have hit me with something. Or he would have, So at that moment, I looked at him and our eyes met. I went, "No, take me back now." And then he stopped, he looked at me, and it's like, click. He knew that I knew that something was up. I grabbed a little bar stick that I found, because I opened the door, I grabbed the stick. And in my left hand was my very old Garmin 550, which is quite a solid thing. I was going to hit him in the head with it, And I already told myself, Alex, if you have to hit him, and you hit him, and he's a bit unconscious, whatever, keep hitting him until you see his brains. Don't be like the movies where they hit once and then they start running and then the guy gets out and starts chasing. So I told myself, don't do the movie thing. Kill the guy.
Don't do the movie thing.
Kill the guy. And I also told myself, if you're gonna run, there were 4 other lodges, but I saw on the way in, they were all empty. It's off season. So I told myself, don't run to the lodge and not like in the movies, help me, because no one's ever home. Or if they're home, they don't want to open the door. So I told myself already, run 1 mile out towards the highway. You make it. So anyway, long story short, he got in, and when we were driving out the 1 mile, there was silence. He already knew that I knew. And I had my goal ajar. Because I told myself, no matter what, if you don't hit him, just jump out. When you jump out, you can run. You can run faster than him. So silence all the way until we got to the main highway. When we got to the main highway, I saw other cars. So my heart was beating a bit slower. And I told myself, we're moving a bit faster. Jump out, it doesn't matter. You can cut your head, stitches, but you're going to be alive.
Your life.
So all the way back, we didn't talk. He dropped me back at my bike by the cafe. And I got out and he screeched off. He was tired and just screeched off.
Oh man, that's for 100%. 100%.
And there's also other stuff that happened before it. Because, okay, let me tell you. As we were going towards the place, he pulled up so damn fast that a Harley Davidson guy crashed because of him. So the guy crashed and fell on the road. I got out. Are you all right? He didn't get out of the car. So the guy on the Harley said, "Hey, you, driver, get out." So he got out and he kept looking down, like he didn't want the guy to see his face. I thought it was really weird the way he was acting already. And then we got in and then we went to his supposed house. And all the time he was looking to look for empty homes, to look for a way to go. So I knew that wasn't his house already. Then he kind of went and looked, and he stopped, he went, "That's my house. Let me show you where you can park your bike." And I knew then that he just wanted to find a remote place where there was no one. That so
man.
Yeah. So that was the closest I think I ever been to real danger where someone was gonna kill me, Yeah.
Well, if anything I learned from this story is trust your gut instinct,
Trust your,
But yeah, it is I'm learning how to coach and understanding psychology that there's still so much about the human psyche we cannot understand, and we are actually way more intelligent than we think we are, because we have all this part of it, the gut feeling, right, and stuff like that. And I think that's so important. Wow. And Baldwin says such a gripping experience, and would love. Patrick says would love to listen to you speak till late. Imagine a road trip. Wow. Yeah, man. Crazy stuff, man. Thanks for sharing.
my friend Silas. For you bikers here, my friend Silas, he's got a company here called True Moto, and basically they rent out bikes, or you can use your own bike. But basically, he takes you through Borneo or whichever part, just Kuching, and he introduces you to places, nice places, good food, that kind of stuff. So he also wanted to join me to join one of those trips so I can tell stories by the campfire, so to speak, Um,
You mean a bottle of wine and some steak,
air conditioned, you know.
air condition. Man, oh, so many things I can keep asking about. And you're right. I think, I still want to find out about your other trips and all, but this has got to be, I think, one of the most epic one, isn't it? Has it been the most epic for you, this trip?
Which one? Pan
This
America?
one. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much so. I look back on it. Right? Especially when I see my book, and I go like, "Wow, why did you do that?"
That's what I asked. That's what
Yeah.
I asked. Like, what was he thinking? Like, why we do it?
2 straight days of 1,300 kilometers and all that.
Oh,
But
jeez.
a man on a mission, okay. When I got to the end, Prudhoe Bay, Alaska. Okay, no one goes to Prudhoe Bay, Alaska, unless they've got something to prove, because all it is oil rigs. It's the end of the Pan American Highway. It's called the top of the world. The end of it. There's no more highway after Prudhoe Bay. So I went there and I put my foot into the ice. Basically, I jumped in. Because I did the same.
You jumped in.
Yeah. But when I got to Prudhoe Bay, Alaska, when I was 20 kilometers before the end, I could see the chimney stacks, the burning of the excess fuel.
Yeah.
A truck came. And those truck drivers are the same truck drivers you see in the National Geographic Ice Road Truckers. The Ice Road is the same highway I took, the Dalton Highway, in the TV series, the Ice Road Truckers. So this, he pulled his horn. He pulled to the side, and he stopped. And he started half running across the road, the gravel road. He said, "Where are you from?" "You must have come from a long way." I go, "Buenos Aires. This was the last day of my ride, day 65. Okay, I was only 20 kilometers before I finished my entire journey, right?" And then he came out and then he said, "Buenos Aires, I knew you were from somewhere far." He said, "Buddy, I just want to congratulate you." And he hugged me,
Wow.
And I started crying, and then this guy, a complete stranger, started crying as well. So it was like the weirdest thing. And then we took a picture together, and I said, "Thank you so much for stopping to say hello." He said, "I can't say hello to you. You just wrote ridiculous. You just wrote, how far did you ride?" I went 30,000 kilometers. "How far is that in miles?" I go, "I don't know, maybe 20,000. So yeah, so he hugged me, he started crying. It's just amazing journey. And I got to the end there. I stayed in a container hotel because that's all they had for the oil workers. And then I covered my bike in the snow. I covered it with a piece of tarp. And then I said to the guy, "One day someone will come and pick up my bike. Can you keep the key for me?" And he said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah." Okay. So 3 months later, someone went to pick it up.
Wow.
3 months. I went on Facebook. I went, "Who wants to ride a bike down from Prudhoe Bay, Alaska?" and one guy took me up on it. Yeah.
So
That's the picture. That was the end. Yeah.
that's the picture. You say here on the description. 14 km truck driver stopped me and congratulated. I was in tears.
Yeah.
Wow.
14 kilometers, not 20. 14 kilometers. Yeah.
Yeah. Man,
I took
and that's with the Malaysian flag. Yeah.
Photos just before I pushed my bike into the side there, and then covered my bike with a piece of tarpaulin. Yeah, and this is the end. That is the end of the Highway 1. They call it. Well,
Wow.
so I put my foot into
This one.
Yeah. Welcome to Dead Horse. You see, you know why they call it Dead Horse?
What's that?
Because in the old days they used only horses to get up there, and by the time they get there, the horses die.
That's grim. Really grim. Man, thanks for sharing your journey, man. There's so much to learn, and the last we got to move on to the next part of the show, but I'm inspired. I really want to do the trip, man. Bobby, let's do it, man. If I want to do it alone as well, but I just want to do it. I just want to do all these trips, and as soon as COVID allows to travel, I want to travel with the Boxer Spider. I got that Spider, and someone's asking me like, "Don't put so much miles in the car." I say, "No, the car's gonna drive. The car's gonna go for many trips."
Hey,
So-
Mr. West asked them, "How do you actually overcome the anxiety or panic attack?" I already covered that just now.
Yeah, cover that. This guy Alex Benedict asked, as a founder of Blowpipe Run, how did you manage every journey from Kuching to KK or vice versa in a single day?
Okay. The bull pipe run, for those of you who don't know, is the journey from Kota Kinabalu to Kuching in the same calendar day. You must do it in the same day. It's not just about 24 hours. You must do it the same day. So midnight to midnight.
You founded this blow pipe run.
Yes, I founded the bull pipe run in 2011. In 2011, because I told myself it must be possible. No one has done it. It must be possible to get from Kuching to KK in one day. And I bought a KTM and it the whole way, and I never did it. So finally, I did it from Kota Kinabalu to Kuching. The first bull pipe run was done on a KTM 6 something. Yeah. But anyway, how did I handle it? The very first time I did it, I didn't plan very much. I did it in 20 hours because my lunch break was 3 hours with the press. They were interviewing me for 3 hours. So the bull pipe run now, everyone tries to get a good time. And the fastest time now is 11 hours, 24 minutes from Kuching to Kota Kinabalu. And it's held by a guy called Chan Wei. And he did it on a GS 1250. 1200. Yeah. But no, how do I plan? I don't. What I try to do, Alex, is when I stop and fill up, I will eat at the same time, just to save time. So you get a sandwich and you're filling up, you eat at the same time, and
that's it.
But I tend to have a very high bum endurance, so I can ride for a very long time before I stop.
Bum endurance.
My bum endurance is very high.
That can mean a lot of things, but we'll take it as a bike journey, all right? Any possibility of bypass Brunei? Kian Pang is asking.
In the old days, when I say the old days, I mean 2011, 2012. You're supposed to
Alex is lagging a little bit. I think I am. There's a question over here by Kian Pang.
Yeah.
Asking about any possibility of bypassing Brunei.
Yeah, Kian, in the old days, you could bypass one part of it. You're supposed to chop your passport twice. But there's one immigration that I used to just bypass. And then when I get to the other side, twice, the Brunei immigration will see that I didn't chop it before. He just got, screw it. You're already going out. But now, no. Now the border, the gates are proper. It's all very proper now. And there's no more ferry. In the old days, you have to take 2 ferry trips to cross the river. But now the bridges are built, and so
cool.
They're very on now, on very switched on. No way to bypass. You can arrive late. My Trans-Borneo, I arrived late, and the border had shut. Customs had shut. They all gone to their quarters, but they came down, and I explained to them my situation. They let me in. So.
Okay. Well, if you've got any more questions, guys, you can drop it on the chat there. I hope that answered your question. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We have roughly around anywhere 90 to 110 people per time watching. Thanks for tuning in, guys. And I just want to say, Alex, before we move on to the last segment of this show, I thought it would be nice to just to learn about what you're going. But I'm on a personal level, I'm taking away. I just can't help but to feel that like to take more bold steps in life. Just listening to you, man. So with that, that's what I got away. Guys, can share in the chat as well what you have inspired. What value did you get from interacting with this amazing man over here with his crazy adventure, man? So I've just for me it's just to live life a little bit more, because I sometimes still find myself playing safe and so on and so forth, and in everything in life. I mean, like in entrepreneurship, in business, in trips like this. So I'm getting a lot from this. Thanks, Alex, for sharing.
And this is from my own corporate experiences and all that. Yeah, it's
so I think Alex is lagging.
It's better to play safe in business. So
it's a play safe in business, but there are times to take bold steps. There are times to play it safe. Yeah.
And only you yourself will know when that time is.
Correct. I mean, I expanded my business to India, and that was a big bold step. I didn't have an income for 1 year, but there was times to take bold steps. There's times to take it easy as well, right?
Talking about India, everyone here, you must once in your life go to the Himalayas. It doesn't matter how you do it. I did it with 4-wheel drive. It was a photography expedition, but it doesn't matter how you do it. My friends did it on motorcycles. 4-wheel drive is fine too, but you must do it. You must do Kadungla, the highest motorable road in the world. It's 18,240 feet high. 18,240. But you must do Himalayas. When you go to the Himalayas and you sit down for your lunch break in whatever vehicle you're in, and you're having your sandwich and you're looking at the mountains, you realize how insignificant we all are in this world. We're nothing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can imagine that. Whew.
Yeah.
I've been to India a lot. I've never been to the Himalayas because I'm always there for business. So definitely would love to go there. Would love to go there.
You
Let's
must
see
go
what the audience is saying. Patrick says Alex inspired me to add more to my bucket list. Derek says learn to take risk. Yeah, and stuff like that. Yeah. Go ahead and share what you've gotten from this. Yeah. So, anyways,
let's take
last question. Before we go on, would you do this again? Would you do the Pan American trip again?
The king, our king, Tongku, Tongku Pisan, who was the Agong at the time I did the trip.
Yeah.
When I went to see the Astana, he said to me, can you arrange a motorcycle trip for me and my group? I said, yes, I will arrange it, but I wouldn't be the one planning it. I will get someone who's clever at this, but I will go along with him. And he said, not now, not while I'm still Agong. After I'm no longer Agong, we'll go. You know?
Wow.
I recently asked him, he's past that. He doesn't want to go anymore to do a motorcycle.
Anyways, Mr. Dark Quest says you are seriously one hell of a braver soul. Even after so many dangerous encounters, you still keep going with PTSD. Yeah. CCW says Alex is like the Asian version of Charlie and Evan.
It's not quite PTSD. You know, talking about Charlie and Ewan McGregor, I met Charlie in KL. So we had a lot of fun together, and I met him at a dinner, and after that I met him at Sepang Circuit. And if you go to my Facebook, you see photographs of me and him sitting on the floor at Sepang Circuit talking about stuff and stuff. But I will always remember this. I gave him my book because I said, you're the bastard that made me start writing like that. You and Ewan. Because of your book and because of your video, I started to get on my scooter and go far.
Wow.
So I gave him my book and he went, it's not fair. Your book is much bigger than my book. It's heavier too. So,
well, this has been a long day, man. It's been 1.5 hours, man. But dude, I've enjoyed myself so much. We're gonna go into the last segment of this. Man, 1.5 hours. We said one hour, but we went 1.5 hours all the time in Top Gear, always. Okay, we're gonna do one mandatory game. All my Top Gear guests have to play this game. It's called Dude, Where's My Car? All right, but before we go into that, thank you so much for sharing, Alex. But let's have a little bit of fun. All right.
Thank you all for tuning in. Really, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you enjoyed this, then one day I'll do it on my channel where I just tell stories. Okay.
Yes,
one day.
Please go check out Alex's channel. Yeah. YouTube is Alex STM Rock. Right. Just like what is on the screen right now. And if you haven't, you can also find him on Facebook. Right. But he's gonna. Would you produce more content like this on your channel?
Yeah, you know, my channel, let me warn you, my channel is not just about cars or bikes. You got stuff on how to peel an egg without cracking the egg and stuff.
That's everything.
It's everything. Yeah.
Please subscribe to Alex's channel. Yeah. And those of you guys watching it, please go just hit over there. Hit the subscribe button, turn the bell notification so you won't miss any of the things they post up over there. And he got a great archive of stuff. And he also recorded his own original music as well. He's a musician. So check out his stuff over there as well. And and also subscribe to my channel, guys, for cars and also stuff like this. More interviews to come up, right? So let's go and play the game.
If you guys want to see videos about Kazakhstan and all that, you know, it's on my YouTube channel, so you can see all that stuff. When I met some drunkards on the road that turned out to be great guys, you know, things like that. Yeah. It's lots of stories, so many stories.
A lot. There's so many videos on YouTube, so many of them. All right, let's go to the last mandatory part of the show. We're gonna play Dude, Where's My Car? So this is where I put two very interesting cars back to back. So I took the liberty. Me and Simon took liberty in and doing a nice Photoshop of me and your face.
Oh my God, that's a good one. Can I have that? That's great. That's so funny.
Let's take a look. Simon, is it on?
That's hilarious.
So yes, we're gonna talk about Dude, Where's My Car? And we're gonna put two cars back to back, and then me and Alex are gonna choose the cars, and I'm gonna answer why. Basically, we're gonna talk about why. Okay, let's take a look at the first set of cars. Would you
Why?
rather drive a? Let's see, Simon, I can't see it.
500.
Yeah, a Fiat 500 or a Suzuki Swift
Let's see.
or a Suzuki Swift Sport. Which one would you drive?
Ooh. They're both front wheel drive, yeah?
Yeah, hey guys, feel free to jump in as well. Let us know which one would you pick. All right, because I right, which one would you pick?
Are they both front wheel drive? I don't know.
Yes, they're both front wheel drive.
I'll take the Fiat.
You take the Fiat?
Yeah.
Why?
Just because it reminds me of the Abaf.
I would as well. I would pick the Fiat. It's just quite an easy choice.
I
But,
almost thought I didn't. So yeah.
but growing up, I love the Suzuki Sport, and I think it's a great car to learn to drive with. CCW says Suzuki, Baldwin says Fiat, Willie says Italian. A lot of Fiat lovers over here. Bobby, how's your Fiat doing? The one that you have to warm up 30 minutes before you drive. All right, so that's the first one. This is the easy one.
My brother had a Fiat 131 Super Mercury Racing. Now,
Oh,
you guys wouldn't know that because you guys are too young. But I was young too then. But I would borrow it, and I kind of crashed it. So
you crashed it?
not crashed. Someone crashed into me, and we spoke.
Yeah. But I would beat the Fiat because in UK I see these little Fiats going around. I think it's so darn cute, and I always thought only one of them at one point. But Swift is very alluring because it's a great car to hoon around and chuck in the corners and and stuff like that. Yeah,
I generally
Yeah.
prefer rear-wheel drive. So
drive guy.
Because
Yeah.
the Mini Cooper was front-wheel drive, and that's the only thing I didn't like about it. Was like the whole front-wheel drive, lift off, turn in, power on. That kind of driving is not me.
Yeah. But I like hatchbacks because because you get to it's a different kind of driving style, and you bully the car a little bit. You abuse it a little bit more. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So both me and Alex choose the Fiat 500. Okay, let's see the next one. Okay, which one would you drive, Alex? The next one. Would you drive this
I've never
Right.
seen it. Mark X.
Mark X? Because it's a Japanese car. It's a Japanese car. It
like
has 300 plus horsepower rear-wheel drive. It's basically a Camry, but with a lot more work done on the Camry. It's rear-wheel driven. Or would you get another hot Japanese car, which is what we call the Honda Civic Type R
Hey,
FK?
hey, do I look stupid? Type R. I'll take the Type R.
Really?
Yeah, I've never driven one, and I've always wanted to drive a Type R. I've always wanted to drive one, and
But it's
You know,
front-wheel drive.
I've never driven one. Do you guys have heard of a guy called Chin Jit Peng? He's got a collection of cars in Kuala Lumpur, housed in a place called the Museum. He's got one of those. He's got a brand new Type R, the model before this one now, the one before that.
Uh-huh.
And when I went to see it, I said, "Hey, Chin, one day if you ever want to get rid of that car, you know who to call."
So let's look at the chat over here. There's a who's that? Mark X. Willie says Mark X again. Thomas, I would pick the Mark X because I think it's a cool. It's a sleeper. It's a great sleeper. Bobby says Mark X. Bobby said Alex will pick the one with rear-wheel drive, but turns out Bobby, you're wrong. He picked the Type R.
Okay, so X is rear-wheel drive, is it?
It's rear-wheel drive. Yeah.
Nah.
But it's a Camry. It's a what I like about it. It's a sleeper. It's like a Camry, but a very fast Camry.
No, you're right. I would probably have picked the rear-wheel drive, but I have never driven a Type R. So until I'm not gonna pick anything else. I really want to drive a Type R.
So let's see on the chat here. Jensen said Mark X for this one. This is an interesting one. So I picked these cars because they are sometimes challenging in Dude, Where's My Car? All right. I remember driving my M225i, and then I got them, with the new tires. I went to the track day, And I was like, man, I'm gonna set good lap times with this car. You know, M235i at 300 horsepower, 320 horsepower in that car, rear-wheel drive. And then I got beaten around by a Honda Civic Type R FK8. They will brake later, they accelerate out earlier. These cars are mean and fast, man.
So when he says FD2R, he means Mark X, yeah?
No, FD2R is the previous version, Civic Type R, probably the one that you're referring to. Yeah.
Yeah,
They're really good.
That's parked in the museum.
Yeah. All right.
I really want to try it.
The legendary car, and it screams. Okay, let's go to the last one. Last one probably interesting for you. I think this one will be quite a challenge for you. Let's see the last one. Guys, we can participate as well. Would you rather drive this car over here, the Alfa Romeo 4C, which you owned before, or the Alpine A110? Ooh. Alpine. Okay, guys, let us know in the chat which one would you pick. Because the 4C is alluring because it's like it's like carbon top and everything, and and it's raw and so on and so forth. Why would you pick the Alpine? Yeah.
Because one thing about the Alpine, it only comes in left-hand drive. Okay, they don't make a right-hand drive Alpine.
Yeah.
I picked the Alpine because I've heard such great things about it. There has not been one bad review on the Alpine. You can go to Evo, you can go to Multi-Trend,
whatever, right?
Says good things about it. But it's PDK. It's not manual. Okay.
Whereas the Alfa Romeo is
the Alfa's PDK as well. Same thing. So they both are the same. It's just that I've had the Alfa 4C, and I've trashed that car. Really trashed it. I love that car. I think it's fantastic. To this day, sometimes when I wake up, I go, "Why? Why did you sell it?" To this day,
But it's such a driver's car, right? The car is so special. You got to drive. It's so special. It's carbon top, and then no power steering. It's like an F1 car, isn't it? Like a little F1 car, right?
Did you guys know the entire car, the curb weight of the entire car is 895 kilograms?
What?
895. No, you pick the lightest Lotus. You're still talking about 1.1 tons, right? So it's 200 kilograms lighter than the lightest Lotus. Okay.
What?
And the tub that you and your passengers sit in, the entire tub, weighs only 65 kilograms. 65. I tell you, that car is only 1.75 liters, but every time I get in it, I drive it, and I put my foot down, the pickup, the way it punches you and pushes you back in the seat, I still go like, wow. But mine had a stage 1 done to it, so it was 200 and about 300. About 290.
Jeez.
Stage 1 done to it. You had the geometry done to it so that it didn't camber steer. They come up from the factory. They camber steer, meaning that if you're on a ship road and the ship road has got like lines, it follows the line. But mine had that done by the Alphaholics, and it's all done. It just drove beautifully. But
wow.
You get into it, you're so near the ground. It's an uncomfortable car. And the trunk space is just a joke. How you put the trunk up, it's heavy. You have to hold one hand. It's just crazy. So it's not so practical. But it's a beautiful car, beautiful.
But I would pick the Alfa 4C because it's such a special car. It's like carbon top. With the it's just unique. Like no other car in the world would have something like that.
I didn't know you then, but if I knew you then, I would have let you try it. For sure.
Oh man, I would have gone bonkers in that car. Probably be scared. Probably be like, "Whoa, what the hell is happening?"
During MCO, I had a meeting up in Putrajaya. So I had a letter that allowed me to travel up all the way to Putrajaya. So you can imagine the roads were empty, right? During MCO.
So you sped all the way.
I took the 4C, and it was just ridiculous how fast it got to this speed. Amazing.
But then on the highway it should be really scary. Is it because it's so light? Yeah.
No, it's very nice. It's very white track. It's very white track. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's almost square.
The police asked me, I said, I'm going for a meeting in one of the ministries. I'm going for a meeting there. Then look at the car like, why is this guy going for a meeting, a proper meeting with government officials, in a carbon top car?
Oh man. But let's look at this. Bobby said he'll pick the Alpine. Wow, Bobby. The Toto says Alpine. Willie said, yeah, he had the right Alpine. A lot of Alpines here. Wow, 4C. Baldwin said 4C is a master, is an art piece on wheels. Oh yes, it is.
Yeah.
Alpine. A lot of Alpines over here. Yeah. Wow.
The 4C is one of the few cars where when you open the door, you just stare. You're staring at the door sills and just because of the carbon tub. You know, the carbon tub's everywhere. I mean, it's a whole tub. So where your feet are, where your arm is, it's all carbon. Where your back is, behind the seat is carbon. You know, the seat is carbon, and it's just crazy.
But I think it reminds me of like a mini F1 car, isn't it? Like a road legal mini F1 car.
It's
because those F1 cars are carbon anyways. They're carbon everywhere. Yeah.
You know what's a car that could be similar in terms of excitement to it now? It's the new Yaris, but that's 4-wheel drive. But it's only 1. What? The Yaris is only 1.8 liters, I think.
I think 1.5 or 1.8. I don't know. 3 cylinders, right? But
manual, right? Is it manual?
It's manual. Yeah. 4-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, manual. That must be a good drive.
That must be so good, but the price is, yeah.
I think I asked Bobby last week. Would he drive that car versus another car? He didn't pick the Yaris. He picked something else. But last week we had this game with Bobby as well. But yeah. Anyways, that was fun. All right. Thanks for participating, guys. With your chat. Thank you so much. So yeah, we'll definitely send you a picture of dude, where's my car? All right, because you look pretty cool in that picture. You look very good in the picture.
It doesn't look Photoshop.
Yeah. Thanks, Simon, for that great thing. All right, guys, if you're enjoying this session, please hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to Alex's Wong's channel as well. Subscribe to my channel as well. Hit the bell notification to turn on the guys. There's so many of his travel stuff on his channel, and even his original music and stuff like that on his channel as well. Right. So please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We'll be hanging out for almost 1 hour 47 minutes.
I think in a few months' time, my band will be doing live shows on my channel.
Wow!
So, since we can't play live in the pubs and the clubs, you know, so we'll just play on YouTube for a bit.
Nice. I would love to watch. Love to watch that. All right.
And so I want to plug my first Mandarin single. It's coming out on April the 1st. 1st of April.
Looking for that. So those of you don't know, Alex is a banana, right? You're full banana or half banana?
Banana?
you know how Chinese guys who can't speak Chinese, you know?
我会说一点点。
一点点啊 You sound like you're from China.
No, yeah, but it'll be my first Mandarin single song. Yeah, it's called Slowly. Okay. So we're going to watch it out. It will launch on YouTube on April the 1st.
Cool. Please go subscribe to Alex's channel as well. And if you want to get the book, you want to get the Alex's book on his crazy journey from Pan America. If you're in Kuching, Fast, and Furious. If you're in KL, Sunny Cycle, not Cycle. Someone said Cycle. Sunny Cycle. If you not anywhere you want it to be shipped to you, drop Alex Wong a message on his Facebook or drop me a message. I'll connect you to one of the guys at Alex Wong there.
When you get the book, don't drop it on your feet. You'll never walk again. It's bloody heavy.
Well, what a journey, man! I'm just inspired. Right. Thanks for watching, guys. And Alex, anything else you want to let the guys know before we end?
No, thanks for taking the time to even log in and listen to the two of us talk crap. But
it's not crap. Come on, it's not crap.
If you subscribe to Thomas, as soon as you log off, subscribe to Thomas, subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you guys again online.
Yep. Hopefully one day we can talk about the other trips as well, because I heard you traveled in Africa as well, did you? Yeah.
Africa? Yeah, I did.
You did a trip to Africa as well. Crazy, man. You do so many trips.
Yeah.
All right, man. So we got to end somehow. If not, we're never going to end. So with that, anything else, Alex? Nothing?
Yeah. My YouTube channel will sometimes have, I think you can put age group and all that, right? For viewers.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have X broadcasts where I talk about stuff which you can't normally talk about.
Okay. but yeah, it's just a setting on YouTube and stuff like that, right? But
Nah, that's
anyways. Well, it's such a great session, man. Everyone's saying it's a great session. Thanks a lot. A lot of people are saying it's nice. TJ, Bobby, CCW, Dexter, Derek, Willie. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for taking your time to watch. We hope this is provide you entertainment because we can't go out right now.
Honest.
Yeah. Okay. Cool, man. Thanks so much, Alex. With that, guys, stay safe.
I'm sorry if we didn't answer some questions. I think we might miss some of them. But next time,
You probably missed some of them. There's so many of them. Yeah.
I'll invite Thomas to my channel. Then we can do it again. But talk about
Let's do it again. All right. Thanks, guys. Please stay safe and no, just stay safe. Do your SOPs and all right. I love you guys and take care. All right.
Peace out.
See you guys.
Peace
Ciao.
Peace
Peace out.
out.